You are now listening to Feeding Off Each Other.
Welcome back to Feeding Off Each Other, a weekly podcast where we feed off the talent, humor, knowledge, and awesome stories of our guests and each other. I'm Matt Denson, joined as always by Jason, closeted road biker Lucas.
Oh. Didn't know where that was going to go. Thank you.
Have I called you that before on the show? I feel like I have.
I don't think so.
You're closeted?
Not road biker.
Are you a road bike lover and afraid to share it, or?
Oh, I don't know if I'm No,
No,
I don't think so at all.
well, good.
I'm also not really a road biker though.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. I creeped your Strava a little bit.
Mm.
There's some Zwifting in there.
Yeah, which is virtual road riding.
And to his right, as always, Mr. David, uncloseted no biker Wiggins.
Correct.
Correct. Nailed it. Well, today we have, for our first time, a guest that rode his bike to the interview. This is the first, I think. Is it not?
I think so.
I wonder how many mountains he rode up and down just to get here. How many Everests he may have done on the way here.
Yeah, what's the elevation?
And what's his Strava look like?
I've seen his Strava and it's not normal.
It's funny because our Strava is sometimes often pretty messed up because we do a lot of self-filming. So we're walking to and back from a camera over and over again. So it's just all loops and it's disgusting. But also that's why I don't use Strava personally, because people can spy on you where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an invasion of privacy?
No.
You can make your posts private, though.
You can.
I think I do.
Or hide part of it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm learning already.
The beginning and the end.
Well, Jay?
Yeah.
Take it away.
Intro today's guest with the crazy Strava. All right. Today's guest smokes weed and rides bikes.
Who could that be? There's 15 people that could be in town.
Not only do they just ride bikes, though, they ride bikes for really, really, really long periods of time. In fact, this person is the only Canadian to ever complete a Triple Everest, which, if you don't know, is a challenge where you need to cycle the elevation of Mount Everest 3 times. Dave, get it?
In what time span?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Shut up. This is equivalent to 26,544 meters of climbing or 87,086-ish freedom units. This needs to be done in one go with minimal amounts of sleep in between. You can tell us about the rules of it later. Today, he is here to chat about this epic ride as well as all the other epic rides he's done. It's not just that one. So slap on some chamois butter and make some noise for Tyrone Siglos.
Whee! I'm shammied up. I'm all buttered up.
That
Slippy and slidey in all the right places.
solid intro. I enjoyed that.
I felt like a Triple Everested through those words.
It's a lot to say.
There's so many numbers.
Yeah.
So Tyrone, you reached out to us on Instagram and you were inviting us to some sort of scavenger hunt in town. Is this right?
Yeah. So I host, it's called Riley's Rips. And that's basically it. It's a scavenger hunt on bikes.
That sounds awesome.
That's
You're also a very uncloseted road biker today, dressed still in all your spandex and weed socks and your flippy flappy hat.
Yeah, I'm like I don't like to go like the full spandex on the bottom. I can't go without like shorts or something. So I usually have shorts, jeans. My jeans were in the wash. They're still drying. So, yeah.
So tell us more about the scavenger hunt, because I am intrigued. It sounds like something that we could get into.
So it's basically a twist on old like Alley Cats. So Alley Cat is a bike messenger race. And I got into, can't call myself a bike messenger because I delivered food. But the messengers will get mad at me for that.
Skip the dishes, or?
I did Uber during COVID for like 3 years and loved it. Rode like all day long. If you saw my Strava from those days, it's like, it is wild. Like just a little mishmash of things all over the city. Very fun. But I wanted to do kind of an easier version of Alley Cats, because Alley Cats are pretty intense usually, because they're for like messenger crowds and you're like racing through the city on an open road. Like there's traffic. But
Are you making deliveries or what?
Sometimes, yeah. Like sometimes it's different all the time. Like that's kind of it's a game. Sometimes I've heard of, there was a Warriors version one year where it was a ride from like Surrey to Vancouver and it was a team thing, but like there were no rules. So you'd have to go to like different places, but sometimes the team that went there first would drop tax on like the bridge after they left. So the teams coming after are like, well, shit.
Oh my god.
So many flat tires for cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's basically Mario Kart rules.
There's some stuff like that, but mine is a lot more accessible. I kind of dialed it back to it's like I wanted something that I could do with my wife. Like I'm gonna bring my wife out and do like a scavenger hunt with her.
We've been all about the scavenger hunts in the last couple of weeks. I finally decided after a couple of years to pay for geocaching.
Oh.
It's like $40 a year or $10 a month or something. And Brooke and I used to love doing it. It's like, it's a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, totally.
There's we found out there was a geocache directly across from our house that we've been passing every day for like 5 years. So I love the scavenger hunt aspect to it. Where do we start? Where do we go if we participate in this?
If you want to register, there's a website, tyronesiglos.com, and then I think /Riley's Rips. I can send a registration link as well, but the registration closes. When is this going to air? Registration closes
8 months.
Closes on the 14th for Indiana Bones, which is on the 27th. But I got 2 more events. There's the Game of Bones in July 20th, and the Grand Fundog is like an annual thing. It's on the same day as the Grand Fondo. Kind of like you guys do your thing. We'll have fun in the city and ride bikes and go drink a bunch of beer and smoke after.
Are you familiar with the game Downhill Domination?
No.
PlayStation 2? It was a mountain biking game in which you could punch and kick and throw glass bottles at each other.
I'm into that.
Okay, well, I'll bring my glass bottles.
Yeah.
Okay, boomer.
You said that. Yeah, I feel like a boomer for bringing it up. As an old, when was that? When did that come out?
Like 95 or something?
No, it was like 2003. Even Dave knows.
Well, PlayStation 2 didn't come out until like 2000.
Let's see. I'll look it up
Right.
here. 2003.
Sorry, we're sidetracked.
2003.
2003.
Yeah, it's way too good for
Oh,
1995.
yeah. That's way more impressive than I was expecting. Just kind of like Excite Bike style.
Right. Did you play Excite Bike?
Yeah, I did.
What's the best biking game of all time, you guys think?
Oh, best biking game
Like
of all
bike
time?
Excite Bike is motorcycles.
Yeah.
Correct? So, I don't know, two-wheeled video games?
Paperboy.
Elastomania.
Oh
No.
my god, that's a good one.
Paperboy
wrong.
2 for sure.
Oh, I got Paperboy 2 across. It plugged in right now.
Do you
Yeah, and
actually?
then you see the
Yeah.
CRTV.
Oh my goodness, that's so rad. Yeah, Paperboy 2, like hands down, best bike game.
I gotta turn that on and see how like good you are at that. You're probably gonna get to the final level.
I don't remember playing it since I was like 10 years old.
It is such a hard game.
It is hard.
It is very hard.
Yeah.
Elastomania. Yeah, how do you
Mhm.
remember that?
Because I had it on my computer.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was like you had to do basically like almost like a puzzle because it was a map, and then you would have to use your front tire and like loop onto things and do flips, and it was the best.
Never seen
Oh
it.
yeah.
Kind of like Line Rider with really messed up
Hmm.
physics in the game.
Oh, the physics were so good.
Could you make your own courses in Elastomania?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I wonder if Line Rider was like based off that then.
Could have
It's
been.
pretty similar.
Howdily dood each other, nation. You love the show, you love the pod, you love the boys. Well, why don't you support us by purchasing some of our merch on mahalamydude.com.
That's right, Matthew. We've got the finest selection of t-shirts, stickers, and hats you've ever seen. Plus, we even have feeding off each other sticker packs so that you can proudly show off your love for the show on a mug, laptop, your dog, your mom, whatever.
And as a special gift to you, our beloved Chuthers, we're offering 10% off your next order with the code FEEDING. That's right, head to mahalamydude.com and use code FEEDING for 10% off your next order.
And now,
Back to the pod.
So let's hear more about this Triple Everesting thing. Tell us the story. I mean, you've probably talked about this a million times. It's been a while now. You were all over the news in 2020. We saw you. We saw that you were doing this.
Oh, dude.
Mhm.
And when I opened up your scavenger hunt invitation, I thought, oh, this is the insane dude. Yeah. I mean, we did the Triple Crown, so that's going up Seymour.
We did the quadruple crown.
I saw
that's
that
true.
too.
And it's
on my
still-
list.
It's still not even close to as impressive as the Triple Everest.
But you guys did it the dirt climb, and you're going downhill on. You're doing it on like
it's so
different
much easier
bikes
than what
too.
you did. It's so much easier.
Apples and oranges, man.
Mhm,
I've
sure.
done that Eagle Bluff. Well, done that. I walked a lot of it. I don't have a mountain bike, but I did it on a gravel bike, and it was like the hardest thing I've ever done.
Which part was that?
The climbing trail on like Eagle Bluff. It was like some, I don't know.
Well, you're making me feel like a super athlete, but I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. So it was, I guess, the year before I had done a single Everesting. I found out about it because my wife's good friend Krista was doing an Everesting on Seymour, and she knew I was into biking and invited me out. Like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be on the mountain like all day, sort of thing. Like, come join for like a rep. I'd never ridden up a mountain before at that point, maybe once, and so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll like come. Joined her for the morning and like did one, and then like did like a second lap with him. I was like, and went home. Like, this is like the coolest thing. Like, they're like so hardcore. And then at that point, I had just gotten into delivering on my bike, so I wanted to like see if I could do one at the end of the year. So in September, I did one up Grouse, which like just wrecked me. Like,
up Grouse? So like up the dirt road?
no, I did the road section from Cleveland Dam to the first parking lot.
Gotcha.
So like the steepest bit of Grouse. And that was the year before in 2019, I guess. And just like absolutely destroyed me. But the next year I had been working full time, like started getting pretty good feel for it. I was doing like big days, like 100, 150 kilometer days on the bike. And I mean, I'm delivering food. So I loaded, and I didn't work downtown. I didn't like working downtown because riding your bike downtown kind of sucks in my opinion. So I worked on the south side, like kind of from Olympic Village, Fairview, all the way up to King Edward, which turns out is like the hilliest area in the city.
Mhm.
So I was essentially like climbing from up and down to Broadway all the time. So I want to see like what that did to my body and how far I could push myself. I was like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna try and do this Triple Everest. Like, oh, like,
You didn't want to start with the double Everest?
So when I did Grouse, it turned out that I was the first person that had Everested Grouse on a bike. Lots of people do it on Seymour. Lots of people have done it on Cypress, but for some reason, no one did it on Grouse. I guess because it's not like the fun mountain to ride. But if you're doing an Everesting, it's the best mountain of the three to do it because it's the steepest section. So it's the most efficient because you're just going for elevation, essentially. So when I saw that I was the first person to do that, I was like, I want to be the first person to do all three North Shore mountains. I was like, all right, let's just go for it. Go for it in like one shot, see if I can do it. I reached out to the community, like just kind of put it out there, like tag Brody and all these like bike companies to see if they could help me out. And Brody Bikes reached out, got back to me, and one of the owners, Andrew Summers, lent me his personal bike that was close enough to the right size, and that thing was like built for climbing, like so sweet. A little big for me, not quite the right fit, but it worked.
What do you mean that it was built for climbing? How does that feel?
It never felt like I didn't have enough gears to go up the mountain. Like
Okay.
I always had another gear to like shift down to if I needed to, but didn't feel like I needed to. I guess. I mean I'm not used to having like a fancy road bike.
Mm-hmm. Like even like the position of it, right? Like how you're seated you're just pedaling is probably more ideal than just like a regular commuter bike or city bike.
Yeah, I use like I had a Ridley crossbow, like a cross bike that I use for delivering. And this was a like carbon gravel bike that was like kind of built for road as well, and it was certainly set up for road, and like it was sweet. Never ridden anything like that. Never ridden anything since like
Jeez.
that, but yeah.
So what did the morning of the Triple Everest look like?
The morning of, I did absolutely nothing. I ate a ton, made sure I packed a lot, because I didn't start until Friday night. I I left my place in East Van at 9 o'clock, or yeah, 9 o'clock on Friday, and got to the mountain. I got to Seymour and started riding through the night. So, um, I basically had a cooler full of all the food that I was planning on eating over the course of 3 days. Like, I don't know anymore. I had like 2 dozen bagels, like with hummus and peanut butter, bananas, and like and parts. Noon, a 4 liter gallon of milk.
Milk?
Oh my!
Oh, I am like
Is there a throw up element to this? You have to vomit 3 times as well.
huge dairy pounder. Huge dairy pounder. It's like one of those things where it sounds really weird, and I get it. But when you look at it, it's actually a really, really good recovery drink. It's got a lot of fats in there. If you go with the chocolate milk, you got lots of sugar. Like, I mean, and how do you pass up chocolate milk?
You don't.
You
I used to
don't.
do that
You
after
don't.
playing sports. I forgot. It's been a while since I've been on the chocolate milk.
Yeah, but it turns out it's kind of like a really good recovery drink.
Say no more. I'm in.
Yeah, like
Brooke, let's go pick out 4 gallons on the way home.
if it's good enough for Lael Wilcox, it's good enough for me to pick up at a gas station.
That's true.
So who's Leia Wilcox?
She is like ultimate badass bike packing lady. Tour Divide, like, yeah, she is hardcore. And the happiest person you ever seen on a bike.
Interesting. Do we add her to our list?
Yeah, you
Sure.
should get Lael Wilcox in.
That was
here.
my first thought.
She's hardcore.
Well, we have a blind ranking list. It's like a mini game. Should we just segue right on into this? Is this appropriate time?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, what's this?
Okay.
It's exciting.
Okay. So
I'm not
yeah,
going to know
we-
any mountain bikers, and it's going to be embarrassing.
I don't think there are any mountain bikers, so
Okay,
that's
okay.
good.
Oh, that's good.
So you're an endurance athlete. We want to do a blind ranking of other notable endurance athletes in the world.
Okay.
The sport, it can be any sport. It's running, hiking, mountaineering, whatever.
Okay.
So it's blind. So we're gonna 1 through 7. 1 is the best, 7 is the worst, and you're not gonna know which one's next.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Okay, yeah.
I've already forgot the name of the bike packer. Do you know?
Okay. Person number 1, Lance Armstrong.
Gross. 6.
Ooh, he's still leaving a 7 in case there's something even worse.
Person number 2, Alex Honnold.
Don't know. So I can go with 5, though, because he's got to be better than Lance Armstrong.
David Goggins.
3.
Stay hard.
Nims Purja.
4.
Forrest Gump.
Oh. 2 or 1. 2 or 1. You know what? I am going to go with number 1 because he's got a great attitude.
Wise choice.
Okay.
Leave the fictional character for number 1 spot.
Then we have Diana Nyad.
I don't know, but got to be better than Lance. So 2.
I didn't know either. What did you say? She just swam to Florida to Cuba, or the other way around?
Oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah.
Swimming is badass.
That's a long.
Yeah.
That's a long way.
Crazy swimmer. Okay, then your worst person is Lael Wilcox.
I mean, to be fair, like I don't keep up with a lot of like news and athletes and stuff.
Fair
Totally.
enough.
Oh, sorry.
It's a hard list.
Sorry, Lael. Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's edit that out.
Lael, you can still come on the podcast. You can still come on the podcast. Number 7.
That's fun. Well, okay.
That's great.
Well, that's the first of 2 games. We'll play another game later.
Yeah.
But let's get back into the Triple Everest because we want to know. Like, the news picked it up. This was during COVID. We're all at home,
Yeah.
and we see you on our phones. I don't have cable, so I didn't see you on my TV, but I'm sure someone out there did. Some boomers.
Mhm.
How did that happen?
My wife is good at stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
She emailed a bunch of the news companies like CBC and Global. And I mean, it was a big thing in like the cycling community anyways. Like a lot of, at least the people in the groups that I know were like like super stoked. And I talked about it for 3-4 months and like said, hey, if you're around, like ride a rep with me or 2 or 3 or whatever it is, like come out, because it helps. Like it's way easier doing that and having kind of some sort of distraction. What was the original question?
I wondered how the news found
Oh.
out about it, and if because I mean they don't just come out to anything, right? They have to decide, yeah, this is worth our time. They spend money on the camera people and all that. And it sounds like they were rolling along with you up the mountain.
I had an interview with someone on Seymour at the night that I started. I think it was Global. I had an interview with Global the night that I started, like super late, and the light was like thing, and I was getting destroyed by bugs, and I'm like, can I just kind of go? He's like,
Still have 3 Everests. to
he's like,
climb.
yeah, I got a long time to go, but that was the first night, and then on the last day, I can't remember who came out, but someone came out, and I loved it. It was great. It was cool, but the timing of it was like brutal, and it was enough time for me to like stop that I was like starting to kind of like cramp up and whatnot too. So it was great, but I would plan it way differently. Like if I ever, which I will never do again, if I ever did something like that.
Interesting. So, okay, can you tell me more about your routes? You started on Seymour, you pedal up the road on Seymour, down to Grouse, and then how does it work? How are you getting the most elevation that you can out of the shore?
So I started on Seymour, and I rode Seymour 10 times. So I
Jesus.
went from
Up and down.
up and down.
It's just
Up and-
one.
Yeah.
Coming back down is 2.
No, that's one lap.
What is coming down? Does that
Coming down
count
doesn't
for anything?
You
Well,
actually
that's just-
lose. You actually lose.
Well, you need to.
This is just time spent going downhill. Oh my
Well-
god, this is what we do for fun.
I mean, that's what I
This is
used
working
it to
against you.
like chill and eat and like recover and drink. But like
On the way down, you're eating.
yeah, but it's also pretty fun just sending it down the mountain on the road. Like
For sure.
like one of the highlights for sure was sending Cypress in the middle of the night at like 2-3 a.m. If you've never ridden Cypress, best time to do it is in the middle of the night. Absolutely
terrifying.
gorgeous.
Yeah, what if you had deer pops out or something?
They're not awake until like 5 or 6.
Oh.
Yeah, so I started with Seymour and did 10 laps of Seymour, rode to Grouse, basically kind of like the traditional way along the road, and then all the way up Capilano. And the segment that I did repeats on Grouse was the same as the year before. So from Cleveland Dam, like the park there, at the bottom to the first parking lot, the segment. That was a little iffy at that point because I was starting to run out of like power. So at one point I was like scrambling to find like an outlet that I could charge my
phone
thing.
and
Yeah, like
lights
in your
and-
body.
yeah, charge my battery pack so that I could charge my phone to keep my Strava going.
Right.
Um,
Oh, that would be the most
Yeah,
stressful
what if you
part.
do it? The
It was-
Strava doesn't work.
it happens.
Nobody cares.
Then it never happened.
Well,
It never did.
The news deletes the footage.
and that kind of did happen. So after Grouse, when I went to Cypress, it's like one continuous thing, and I had been riding for 48 hours. I took at that point 2 coffee naps, like power naps, just like downed a bottle with caffeine, like a noon with caffeine in it, and set an alarm for half an hour. Woke up and was like, yeah, let's go.
Were you in the bush or like?
No, we had a friend's car. So basically, they parked the car on Seymour, and then when I finished Seymour, they moved the car to Grouse, and then the same thing to Cypress. So kind of used it as like a little base camp.
Nice.
You guys ever try the coffee nap?
No,
I hate naps.
I love naps. That was the first time I did it though, and I was like, these are great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did you find out about it?
My wife. I called her and I was like, I'm so tired. I need to sleep. I like had been riding for more than 24 hours at that point, straight. It's different when you start at night, because once you've ridden through the night and the sun starts to come up, you're like natural, like, oh, it's morning time. You kind of tricks your brain. That's why I tried to start at night. I was like, this will be the easiest way to kind of prolong that first section of no sleep. Because you're only allowed 2 hours of sleep for every Everest that you complete.
And how long do you have to complete an Everest?
You don't actually have a time.
Oh, okay.
I think the news said you had like a day to complete one, but you don't have any time frame. I had a goal to do it within 72 hours.
Each Everest or the whole thing?
The whole thing. So
Okay.
like each Everest, like a day.
Yeah.
I gave myself about a day, which like hindsight was quite generous when I built in like breaks and stop times, and it worked out. But riding time, I think, was closer to 42 hours ride time, 46 hours of ride time. It is pretty. I was like, oh, that's actually not bad. Like, okay, cool.
You put David Goggins as number 3 on the blind rankings. He's all about callousing the mind. What you know how he says that? You keep taking pain, and it adds a little callus on your mindset, and you keep going. You feel it less. You keep and you keep punching through that pain. What were you experiencing? Like, what was the hardest point for it throughout the experience?
The pain wise, I don't think I had issues pain wise really. They would come and go. They would kind of like move around the body. Like it would start and like my ankle would be like, oh, okay, it's like my right ankle is a little sore, kind of shift positions, maybe stand up on the bike for a little bit, and like, okay, all right, it's gone. And then like, oh yeah, my back's a little stiff, like kind of like, all right, and like maybe sit up a little bit more. Just shifting a lot. I mean, music and weed helps keep the mind distracted, and also make sure that I eat too. So that was kind of part of the strategy as well. But I think physical pain, I don't think I really experienced it much, mostly because when I was riding, it was like very reserved. I wasn't going to do it fast. I was like just going to complete it. If I was trying to do it fast, yeah, I would be like shattered, be so destroyed. But I was like very intentionally like dialed back. Like I need to be able to ride for 3 days straight. No effort climbing.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, so how many joints per kilometer are we talking here? Or like per hour?
Freedom units.
So I had no joints until the very end. I had
all bong rips.
I had a real fat one. I'll vape hips.
Oh, vape. Okay. Triple chamber bong.
Yeah, no, dabs all the time. Dabs all day for me. I'll take it.
So wait, how much weed do you?
Wait, it's a dab in a vape.
I'm using like my little vape pen sort of thing, and I'll take
like throughout the whole
thing.
Okay.
Basically, every lap I would take like a couple hits of.
That's why he was worried about the power. It's not his phone; it's his vape.
Oh, that battery lasts forever.
Wow.
Yeah, you're great on
Good
those
battery.
things.
Triple Everest approved vape.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is the weed doing for you? What are you smoking? What is it doing for you?
So I picked something that has love that you're asking, because I get to go into my deep dive on weed stuff. I picked something that's sativa because they typically have a little bit more uplifting, euphoric sort of vibes. If you want to get into like terpenes, which are a little bit more specifically kind of why you get hungry when you smoke a certain weed versus why this weed makes you really happy, are the terpenes. So I'll find something that specifically is like higher terpenes for like euphoric and energy. CBG is great for energy if you can find something with CBG in it. And something that makes me hungry.
That's CBG, not CBD.
CBG, yeah.
CBG.
CBD is also good. If you can find something full distillate, or full spectrum, that means it's got like everything in there, full spectrum. The CBD is good for like muscle stuff and like relaxation. CBG is really good for uplifting, like a good daytime. Like, hell yeah, I'm out. CBN, that's good nighttime stuff. That'll like KO you. Yeah, so I stay away from certain things when I'm riding, versus like at the end of the day, I'll smoke something that has a little bit more CBD and CBN because I want to KO and like recover.
Right.
Chocolate milk, which kind do you pair? Which one goes the best with the high CBC? What is it?
CBC.
You sound insane.
Yeah, I am a little insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. Why was this easy for you? Because I asked what the most challenging part was, and you say, "Yeah, you know, it was." I can't even remember. I don't think I felt pain. I was just smoking weed, having a great time. Is this easy?
No, like, ish. No. I don't want to say it's easy because it wasn't easy. I had a lot of help. I had a lot of help from people, which is part of the reason why I put on these rips, because when you receive love, you give love back. So I got a ton of love from the community. People came out and rode with me at reps. They brought me battery packs, like a ton of stuff. So it wasn't easy. Physically, it wasn't difficult for me at that point. I was pretty confident because I'd been doing so much riding, like 150 kilometers a day. Delivering is really hard because you're starting and stopping all the time. So doing that 4 or 5 days a week when you're on like a heavy bike, something that's like 40 pounds, which is like almost half my body weight, and then going to something that's pretty light is like very easy, like makes a big difference too. It's like Babe Ruth swinging with like 10 bats going to like half a bat.
Mm-hmm.
So Brody hooking me up with like a super light bike helped. So it made it a lot easier. Mentally was like, it was tough at a lot of times. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. It's hard. A lot of the times I was in the dark on my own. Like,
scary.
Yeah, like bombing down Seymour the first time, like at night, was so scary. It was so dark, and it didn't matter how bright my headlight was. It doesn't light up enough of that for me to be like, okay, so I'm comfortable sending Seymour. Like, no, I'm just gonna chill back, like chill on the brakes, like make myself nice and big, like slow myself down. This is terrifying sending this at 2 a.m. and there's nothing. But
What are you scared of? I mean, I think potholes.
potholes is one thing. Animals, like at one point a deer like was just on the road.
What, a late night deer? Because they wake up. It seems like they have a good sleep schedule that doesn't conflict.
It was like 4 or 5 a.m. at that point, so like starting to get light out, but like still kind of like twilight. I guess what's the morning twilight?
Dawn?
Light. Yeah, kind of like before it's like actually bright out. And they're kind of on the road. That was like pretty scary. Like coming around the corner, like oh damn, oh dear. That was scary. But mentally, I think once I got past grouse, like I was like, there's nothing that's gonna stop me. I set myself up for that too. I was like, Seymour is like a difficult one. The climb itself is pretty long and a decent grade. Grouse is punchy, so it's steep. But I was like, if I can finish grouse, Cypress is like, it's the easy one of the three. So once I got past that, like that big barrier, and I had a lot of help to kind of get there, I was like, okay, I can do it.
What were you listening to?
Oh, I had like a 30-hour just mash of like anything.
Mm.
A lot of skipping because sometimes it just like didn't jive with the feeling, but like
Snoop Dogg,
yeah, yeah, on repeat.
Baby Shark. Well, that's insane.
Amsterdam's was that's a good one too.
It's insane that you've done this. Have you ever seen the quad cycle racing? Or what's it called? A quad tandem? Yeah, quad tandem.
Oh,
Yeah.
like 4 people on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen snippets. I think on Downey Lives. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, he invited us along one time. He asked if we wanted to, like, some people couldn't make it or something, or they needed alternates.
They needed the worst people to pick in the world.
Yeah. So we ghosted him. No, just kidding. But we turned it down. That's that's crazy. Just that much enduring anything for that long.
It's also what I love. It's easy when like I love riding my bike. It's one of the few things where I can be like, yes, if I could do this all the time, I want to do this.
Mhm.
So it was cool to get a chance to like just ride my bike for 3 days.
That's cool. Yeah, and I think like the Uber Eats. I mean that's the easiest way to make biking a part of your life all the time. We were gonna do a video years ago that was who can, I don't know, deliver the most in a day or like get the best rating. I'm not sure.
Or like make the most money or something.
Something like that.
Don't do it anymore. You're not going to make much.
No, is that? Oh, okay.
No, I had to go back to a regular job.
Because
Wait, how much do you make as an Uber Eats
yeah,
driver?
that's what I was gonna ask. Sometimes I Google how much you make because it's like I daydream. I'm like that would be fun. Just do on the side. Go for bike rides, make some money.
Well, I'll be honest now because I'm not doing it anymore. I was making very good money. I could average 4 trips an hour. So back when Uber was like half decent, the minimum trip would be $5.50. But then you put tips on top of that and like surge and everything. I was pulling in like $50 an hour.
That's pretty good. But
So
that
that
was
was-
pandemic time?
That was pandemic time, and like I mean, I was hustling hard. I was going pretty hard. But I also like I had it dialed. I had like messages to send people on like Fridays. I'd be like, "Happy Friday!" Like on your way with your meal, and like always get that thumbs up and tip. So like I was like calculated about it. I'm like, I'm hustling. I need to get that tip for like that extra. Whereas like some people, if you're lazy about it, you'll only make like 8. Now, nah, you're lucky if you can do 10.
An hour?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
5 times less. Wow.
Yeah, those things they're predatory, like super super bad, kind of like Ponzi scheme-esque, like the way they set it up. Like, oh yeah, refer your friends, and if they do 20 deliveries, you'll get a bonus. Except you're like no different than Mary Kay. You're referring your friend, and they need to sell to someone, and now that's your competition, and it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah,
Just crush Jason's dreams.
sorry.
You just signed up.
It destroyed my dreams too.
Yeah, I bet.
I actually did sign up in anticipation of the video, and they were gonna. The next step was like sending me the bag or whatever that goes on the back.
Oh, I just found my own. I rigged up. I had a setup. I rigged up like 2 Coleman cooler bags as like pannier packs on the back of
smart.
my bike, and had like a flat deck across it essentially, so I could do pizzas too.
Oh.
I once delivered 12 pizzas to a family at Granville Island. They were like, "On a bike." Oh, okay.
Wait, 12 pizzas?
What, did they become
Stacked?
suspicious?
Yeah.
How cold are these
I-
pizzas?
I was there in 5 minutes. Yeah, I stacked. I put I had a big like winter jacket that I would wrap around them and then strap onty the back.
Plus, you're smoking weeds, and they didn't even notice you ate one on the way there because there's too many pizzas.
Oh yeah, I mean it's for kids. They don't.
It's very like Spider-Man 2, the opening scene. He delivers like 10 pizzas on a
Like a
scooter.
moped.
Oh, that's rad. Yeah, except it was a bike, so that's radder.
What did people order the most?
Chipotle was bumping.
What?
Yeah, people love Chipotle.
It's just easy. It's a good burrito. You know, you get it in different forms. Same thing, but you get the
It's a lot of food.
burrito bowl.
Good
is there
value,
another-
yeah.
Tacos, right?
Yeah, Vancouver, we love our like Mexican food, our tacos, our burritos. Like we have a very high amount of taco places for the city that we were in.
Was there annoying food? Like were people getting bubble tea and it was spilling or
Starbucks.
Mm.
So much
on many levels, not just ordering?
Oh, everything about it. When they started shutting down Starbucks, I was like, hell yeah, goodbye. And
Go off, Queen.
there goes another one. Oops.
Fatality.
So what, they just I mean, yeah.
They
Or a coffee that probably falls over.
they don't pack them properly, and
Mm.
like the people that are ordering their Starbucks every day are ordering Starbucks every day and not tipping because it's too expensive to tip, but you're spending like $10 on ordering a coffee that you can walk 5 minutes and grab.
You're riding your bike to deliver a coffee for people?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
there was one person where they lived at the bottom of Oak and 6th.
Oh shit.
Rachel. I will never forget her. She used to order coffee
All right,
every
Rachel,
single
come
day.
on in. Jerry.
and
That
after
escalated quickly.
like the third time of no tipping, I'm like, nope, I am not bringing your coffee to you anymore. Like, screw you, lady.
Really?
No, not happening. I was like, thumbs down. You're gonna have to wait for your cold coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why don't you
You're-
just make a
Do you ever have any, colorful interactions with people beyond Rachel?
pizzas?
Any,
12
any
pizzas.
lonely housewives?
No,
Yeah,
lure
no,
you
I
in.
did
12
have.
them in one
I did
house.
have one very angry old lady that yelled through the door that I'm not me. You're not you. You're not you.
You're not you.
She's like, you don't match the.
You
the-
say who did he tell you that to?
She's like, you don't match the picture in your profile. I don't know what to tell you, lady.
I
I'm
just
wearing
did-
a mask
I'm a
because
little
it's
skinnier.
COVID.
I did the Triple Everest.
Like,
It's not Tinder.
thinner.
yeah.
You're catfishing people on Everests.
Sorry, I shaved yesterday.
I smoked indica today. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah, my eyes are a little saggy.
Anybody get upset and throw hands or?
No, not customers, drivers for sure. They get angry all the time. I learned to kind of tune that out.
Yeah.
Or what about being like, I'll go to pick up my own food, but then I see all the drivers and they're kind of anxiously hovering. I feel like that seems like the worst part of the job.
when when you have an order and
Yeah.
you're going in there and they're all chilling, it used to happen a lot. Yeah. I think because like the way Uber's algorithm is, it favored like cyclists or like people that were delivering on a bike versus a car. But at some point they switched that, so it favored driving a car versus on a bike.
Really? I feel like you'd have the advantage delivering to our place because a car shows up, they always get lost. They go on the other side of our complex, and with the bike, you could just kind of.
Also, most people don't know how to actually like read addresses. They just look at their
Yeah.
GPS. I stopped doing that because I was like, this is wrong all the time. It's easier to just look at the number on and know how addresses work.
Right.
Oh, you're going this way, it goes up.
And I think you got the advantage on the bike. It's way easier to, see addresses, slow down, whatever.
Yeah.
In the car, it's a pain in the ass. You gotta
Yeah, totally.
park it.
Yeah, parking would be like a nightmare all the time. Like, oh, no, thank you. I don't drive.
Now, if you have to go to like an apartment or something, are you locking your bike outside?
Yeah.
You don't trust it.
Oh, no, certainly not.
Have you
Don't
had
be a
them?
fool. Lock up your tool.
Whoa.
Is that a sticker?
It-
Trademark that
It
then.
should be.
Have you ever had a bike stolen?
Yeah. Yeah. Early on when I was delivering, I locked up outside of Rosemary Rock Salt, was in there for like 10 minutes.
This guy, he loves bagels. Well,
I do,
bagels.
I
and
do love
hummus?
bagels. I was waiting for someone's order though.
Oh.
So it wasn't ready. I was chilling and someone in that time, chopped my lock and was gone.
Oh, chopped it.
Yeah. Chopped it and was gone. It was like a decent U-lock too. And they just,
A U-lock?
yeah, it was a U-lock. They sawed it off and were like, whoop, out of
Dang.
there.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, people don't care anymore. Which is like, if you have a cable lock, no, that is not good. At least put a U-lock because then they need a power, like something power.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it got stolen, posted like all over. Like, hey, keep an eye out for my bike.
It had 12 pizzas on it.
Yeah, yeah. I looked
Spilled
around
coffee.
for it and someone on Reddit saw my post and ended up giving me a bike.
Oh.
They're like, hey, I have this bike. There's something wrong with it. It doesn't work.
Toys R Us, the CCM, 19-inch wheels.
They're like, if it fits you, it's yours. And they had just gotten to like a brand new bike, so I was like, okay, well, I'll take a look at it. And I show up to this place in Yaletown, and this lady brings out this brand new Cannondale Synapse.
What?
Yeah, and
What is this? A really nice road bike?
it's like a pretty decent
Yeah,
road bike.
pretty
Yeah, yeah, like fairly decent road bike. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, something's wrong with like the back wheel or the front wheel. I can't quite figure it out. And she's like, yeah, it's yours. I was like, my size, okay. Like, thank you so
yeah,
much.
it's a piece of
Like,
crap, lady. I'll take it off your
I
hands.
was, yeah, like so much. Turned out she just needed to replace the tube properly.
Oh, it just had a flat tire?
It just had a flat tire. It
Classic.
literally just had a flat tire.
So many
and,
people
like,
think that. I think they have a flat tire. They think their bike is the dud.
like it wouldn't hold air or whatever. She just couldn't get it to work. I don't know. I replaced the tube and it like, okay, thank you. Oh, yeah.
Disposable.
That's so cool. I mean, good on that lady.
Yeah, like absolutely. And it's kind of, I think it's speaks a lot about the cycling community in general. Like, and again, like why I do this community like scavenger hunt, because the bike community is like so rad in Vancouver, and so giving. And you have like so many different sects. You have like the roadies, you have like the mountain bikers like yourself, and you have commuters, and then you have like messengers and the fixie people, the polo people, like all these different groups. And for some weird reason, we don't really like mesh.
Mm-hmm.
We don't come out to the same things. No, like I get it. There's a lot of like fun stuff going on, but I was like, why can't we have just like a fun bike event for the community? We're all super rad people. And I think that's why it's easy to get like all the sponsors, like the local sponsors, because they're like, yeah, this community's rad. We're totally into like giving back to the community. So yeah, the cycling people in Vancouver, nowhere better. We're better.
What's the best ride to do in Vancouver? We want to do a video about this kind of for a while, and we can't decide. What's like just the
Stanley
best
Park
experience?
Seawall.
No.
Well, I mean, it really depends on what type of ride you want to do.
An experience, you get to experience the city in the truest form. It's not too hard. It's not too easy.
An
An out of towner who cycles is coming, and you're like, and they're like, what should I ride?
An out of towner that cycles, so like they can do 100-ish kilometers.
No. I'm
Like
30.
30.
Like 20 to 30.
Probably, I mean, Stanley Park, I guess, but Seymour Demonstration Force is like, it's fantastic. The Trans-Canada Trail, if you can ride the Trans-Canada Trail, like, or Power Line up to SFU is totally underrated mountain. Like, I love
That's
SFU.
where I learned a mountain bike.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is where I'm learning to go over the bars.
That's where I learned to get my degree.
Yeah, where you did actual learning.
Yeah.
That's why I learned they give out degrees. That's why I avoided it.
I did some learning.
How he became
and
the
then-
smartest guy in the pod.
No. I barely paid attention.
Right on. You know, I went to school at SFU and I was like, nah, I'm never going to use math again.
I didn't try to learn in the first place.
Well, you had pretty good math when you're adding up how much you earned as a Uber Eats
Yeah, that's true.
cyclist.
Yeah.
You mentioned you hate cycling downtown. You said it's the worst.
Yeah, I don't enjoy cycling downtown for the most part. They have a lot of good bike infrastructure that's going in, like around like Richards and Dunsmuir and stuff, but people are dumb downtown and they drive dumb downtown. And in my opinion, there's a lot of better stuff outside of downtown, like Mount Pleasant and Kitts and East Van and North Van. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sketchy. There's a lot of things to look out for. Lots of people, buses, trucks, construction.
It's hard to drive downtown too.
And that's, I mean, I give drivers a lot of flack, but I feel for them. If I was stopping like every 5 seconds and getting passed by some jerk on a bike that looked like me, I'd be upset too. And he's like lane splitting or whatever, doing his thing. Like, yeah, I'd be a little upset and aggressive, but sorry, you're driving downtown. That's how it is. You're in a big city.
In regards to like cycling rules, do you follow a bike as a car, or is a bike more akin to a pedestrian? Or does it go in between the two, which is the worst?
You ride how you ride to keep yourself safe. In some cases, that means acting like a car, taking up the entire lane, like asserting, hey, you're not going to pass me because it's not safe here. And I totally encourage people to take the lane, because people will try and pass you, and that's when you start getting into dangerous positions. But when you get to an intersection and it's really awkward to make a left turn, yeah, I'm going to behave like a pedestrian and cross at the crosswalk and then cross again, right? Or like, yeah, people get kind of bent out of shape about bikes being on the sidewalk or like bikes being in the lane. Dude, I don't want to be any more in front of your truck than you want me in front of your truck. Like, if I could be off in a bike lane, I would take the bike lane instead of being in front of your truck. Like, and if I didn't have to ride on the sidewalk, I wouldn't ride on the sidewalk next to this like in front of this pedestrian. Right? So
Yeah.
Oh,
Comedian Dave Attell, he's got a joke. He says, the other day I got hit by a cyclist. Well, I was standing in the middle of the sidewalk.
yeah.
And it reminds me of the time that I think my brother was young. He was riding down the sidewalk. And I think a cop pulled him over. So you can't ride on the sidewalk. So because of that, throughout my life, when I ride on the sidewalk, I feel like kind of anxious about it. Like, oh no, I'm doing something. I'm breaking the law. Like the cop might pull me over. But sometimes it is the safest thing, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta
It's
do
like a
it.
weird bylaw thing, isn't it?
It is, and you're not supposed to, but it's honestly, if someone's going to get bent out of shape about me trying to keep myself safe, it's their problem.
I mean, if I have to ride on a sidewalk, which I don't ever want to do, I don't know. You try to leave space.
Yeah, you
do it slow.
yeah.
You know.
I like to use the custom bell, the bring, bring, highly effective.
Wait,
what? Just your mouth?
Yeah, just my mouth.
Oh.
Bring, bring,
Oh.
very, very effective.
Oh, I've never done that.
If you're dealing with cars, a little beep, beep, the like Roadrunner, beep, beep. That actually works really well too.
Wait,
What? They can hear?
Yeah, they can hear you?
Yeah, like if you give them like a big beep, like a car, like a meep meep.
Just self-censoring yourself
Yeah.
from what you really want to tell
Yeah.
them. I've never done the bring, bring, but I could adopt that.
What about the...
That one's really effective.
On your right.
It's like an ambulance. So
Yeah.
all the street goes to either side.
Everyone's going to be looking at
I should
you.
do that. Wee wee. That
Yeah.
would probably work pretty well too.
Put a little...
Yeah, beacon light on
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah.
I usually, when I'm coming up on someone, I say, on your left here, hey, how you doing? On your left. And I try to just keep talking and talking and
Yeah.
talking. So, they don't freak out. They say they can understand its voice.
Yeah.
And even if they can't understand me, they just hear the voice. But the bring, that's pretty effective.
Try it. You'll be surprised at how many people are like,
Mm.
oh, okay.
Wait, why not just rock a bell?
You can, but it's like, I don't
Lame.
know.
Yeah.
You can. A lot of times people don't like hear bells the same way for some reason.
It could blend in with the city noise. a
Yeah,
bit
kind
more.
of like, yeah, whereas like, I don't know, it seems to catch people's attention.
You know what else is really effective? The truck thing where you go, ch, 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 ch. That's like the new reverse, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they changed it because people were tuning out the beeping of a backup.
Oh, I haven't
So-
heard this new one. I don't
like the
think.
air
What?
brake?
You've never heard
like
that?
An air brake? Like, shh.
It's not even. It's a sound. It's out of a speaker. It's like
Oh.
yeah. It's
You never heard
Oh.
that? You never noticed that?
I maybe have, but
Yeah,
you
it's
de-
subconscious.
you've definitely
I
heard it.
I want to be there
Oh.
when you call me. The first time you notice, you call me. You tell me how you
I'll
feel.
call you. I'll be like, "Yo, new truck sound just dropped."
You better wake up.
You know, it's a weird thing. There's a bylaw that if you're riding in Stanley Park, you have to have a bell on your bike,
Mhm.
and you could theoretically get a ticket. You don't. Stupid
Shut
bylaw. but-
Yeah, I had to run in with the cops. Oh, what'd they get you for? Well, didn't have a bell on my handlebars.
or tassels.
I used to have a bell on my handlebars, But yeah, it was kind of lame. So then I put it like between my legs
What?
somewhere, not on the bike
On the
frame,
tier.
not on me.
Mhm.
And I eventually just couldn't find it. It took me too much time. By the time I found it, I was already beside the person. So
Do you have experience not being able to find the thing between your legs?
no,
Oh, okay.
no microbe down there.
Drake!
Smallest bell I could find. Oh, I did have the clown.
Mhm.
That was fun, but obnoxious. I don't know. How do you feel about people who ride in with music,
Oh,
like a boombox?
I ride with a speaker.
You've probably ridden by me a few times. And I've
Maybe,
thought, what
probably,
a douchebag.
probably. And I rode by you for a second. You heard my music. What a douchebag! And then I was off, and you didn't hear it again.
And I never forgot.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
Shake Hada, boy.
I like music and headphones, even like all the in-ear with the noise canceling. Like you shouldn't use noise canceling headphones when you're riding a bike.
Mhm.
Nah, you should be able to hear when a car is pulling up behind you, or like there's just auditory things I think you should have. So I do ride with a speaker.
Now, what about the AirPods with the transparency mode?
I haven't used the AirPods, but I tried like the JBL ones. I had some Bose ones as well, and none of them I found were really like quite good for it. I might try like the bone conducting ones.
Mhm.
Those ones probably might be into that. But I haven't. They're expensive, so speaker. It
Plus,
is.
they vibrate your skull.
And like depending on your music choice, most people like don't really care. And again, like if you're passing a pedestrian on the street, you're there and gone in like 2-3 seconds. If someone on a bike is upset about it, you can either drop me or like back off.
Well, that's kind of how I
Sort of
feel
thing.
about it too. I don't think it's such a big issue.
Yeah.
But you do see a lot of flack on the internet, like people, like hikers with music.
That's
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 worse.
different.
That's
That's
way
different.
different.
That's
That's
different.
worse.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's-
different. Yeah.
yeah.
Way worse.
It's so slow.
Because you're out there for the sounds of nature
Yeah.
and the serenity,
And also, you
It's
hear
slow.
them forever.
and then you
Right.
got
Slow.
insane clown
Yeah.
posse.
Yeah, it's slow. And like even if I was riding through the forest or something, I wouldn't have my speaker that loud. Also, like, I mean, being seen is safe, but being heard, you extra little bit of here's someone on a speaker. There's an extra little bit of like, oh, there's someone.
That's smart.
Fair.
Should
So-
we play a game?
Yeah,
We got a second game.
we were on the same page.
Oh.
for once. Okay, it's a game called This or That. Here are the rules.
It's that time again, folks. Time to play This or That, the game where you choose between two radically different options. Either this or that. Are you ready?
Sure.
Sleep deprivation or starvation.
Sleep deprivation for sure.
Flat tire or snapped chain.
Oh, I ride fixed, so snap chain is real bad. Flat tire,
Sativa or indica.
sativa,
Decisive.
Yeah.
Morning rides or night rides.
night rides,
Fixie or freewheel.
pixie. Come on now.
Yeah,
Chamois-
Dave.
Oh,
Come on now. How are you supposed to skirt with a three wheel?
I don't even know what a
Skirt or
freewheel
skirt
is.
skirt?
Skirt.
Chamois or no chamois.
Most of the time I ride with no chamois, but
Jesus.
like on the big rides, yeah, I'll throw a chamois on.
Triple Everest?
Callus
I
or
rode
Gooch?
with a chamois. I only use butter like halfway
Ooh, gross.
Stay hard.
through.
Sunset or sunrise.
Sunset.
Cypress or grouse.
Cypress. Middle of the night.
Cypress or Seymour.
Cypress.
Dick-sized nipples or nipple-sized dick.
I was ready for this one. I think dick-sized nipples would be better.
100%. Short and hilly or long and flat ride.
Oh, short and hilly. Long and flat is so boring.
Bars or gels.
Don't really use either. Gels, I guess.
What would you replace it with? Bag-
Gummy bears?
Gummy bears. Candy.
Steel or aluminium.
Steel, because I have a habit of being real hard on my shit.
Did you say aluminium?
Yeah, I said it the British pronunciation because it was more fun. Steel or carbon.
I can't afford carbon, so steel, but I would like carbon. If anyone out there has a carbon bike for
If
me.
any
This probably
Yale
a-
Town
yeah.
housewives are giving
Another
away. Coffee or beer.
Coffee.
No arms or no legs?
Ooh. No.
You'd be able to cycle with better probably with the legs. I guess you could cycle.
No,
with
how do you
arms.
steer though? I would probably go no legs, and maybe like you could do the hand
Yes.
cycling.
Hand cycle's pretty
Because
dope.
with like no arms, like steering,
There's a mountain biker with one arm.
but no arms.
There's probably a mountain biker with no arms.
There's also a basketball player with one arm that plays in high school or college.
I've
It's
seen
pretty
that. That's
impressive.
pretty. That is,
Like,
yeah, I've seen that. That is impressive.
Gravel or road?
Gravel.
Drop bars or flat bars?
Can I have a little bit of like swing in there? I go flat, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably go flat.
Pia marble or poop a baseball?
Oh, we didn't plan
Poop
for
a
this one.
baseball.
Poop a baseball.
Yeah, I was ready for that.
Oh,
You don't want to pee anything out.
And finally, Triple Everest or Olympus Mons?
If I could ride up Olympus Mons, hell yeah.
Is that the volcano on Mars?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
You
Oh.
never heard of Olympus Mons?
Well, I just said so.
No, but
I
like
think
as
it's the
a
same.
challenge.
Oh no, I've never.
It's almost the same.
Is it?
I think
almost the
Olympus
same?
Mons is slightly taller.
I've never heard of
That's-
the actual challenge itself, but I know Olympus Mons is like huge.
Yeah, it's
What's
huge.
how big is it?
It's like 20. I just looked it up.
Oh,
But a guy in New Zealand, Ben Hildred, just did like I think the first mountain biking Olympus Mons.
oh,
Mountain
took 'em, like-
biking, Everesting would be like hella hard.
Yeah,
That would be a gravel one is kind of on my list as well because I think that would be really hard too and fun. But descending on gravel for that long is like you got to be dialed.
Oh my.
So Olympus Mons is 25 kilometers tall, so 25,000 meters tall.
I did more.
Okay, well, I'll go
did
fuck myself.
27,000.
Okay, So
But
you
my
did
Strava,
Olympus
my
Mons.
Strava like started glitching out when it was on on Cyprus, so it looks like it was like bouncing to the island. And
Oh, really?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, bro,
Strava-
can you
Strava
type in
couldn't
Olympus
handle
Mons and go to Google Image and comparison or something like that? I gotta see like the difference in size between
Like
these
three-
mountains.
3 times as high as Everest.
Because
Yeah, it'd be
like
3
honestly,
times.
when the numbers get this high, they don't mean that much to me. I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm always asking, how tall is Whistler again? What's the height of our mountains here? You know, I feel like
Yeah.
oh, okay, so Olympus Mons is
It's pretty big.
oh my god, it's like
Like a triple Everest.
Triple Everest.
some kind of Triple Everest.
What is the Isle de Hawaii?
Oh, that's a really
It's like
I
a
think-
bar downtown, I think.
I think from the bottom,
Tiki bar.
from the bottom all the way to like the top of this really gnarly gravel climb volcano,
Oh, cool.
Mauna Kea or something. I saw it the other day. Very cool, like intense climb, one of the hardest ones.
So speaking of that, what sort of masochistic ride are you doing next?
I'm waiting on vacation time to see if I can do a big masochistic ride. The Coast Mountains bikepacking trip has been like a worm in my head. And it looks like unreal. I saw your guys' video on riding. You bike packed through there in the Coast Mountains and in the Chilcotins.
Oh,
And it-
Chilcotins.
Yeah, in the Chilcotins. You go through the Chilcotin mountain range. And I would do it door to door. So I would start
God.
I would start in East Van,
Oh my god.
ride out through Harrison up to through Lytton, Lillooet, through the Chilcotin range to Bella Coola to Port Hardy,
Mhm.
and then kind of choose your own adventure on the island to Nanaimo, and then home.
That sounds kind of cool.
It's like,
My gooch hurts.
it's like
It's a lot of gravel, hey?
I want to be like away from the road.
Yeah.
Like, I can ride on the road. It's fine. But if I can avoid cars, I would like to. And most cars don't want to ride on gravel or drive on gravel. Yeah.
You said no chamois for chamois or no chamois? You're doing these types of rides?
Not the big ones. No, the big ones I'll use a chamois for sure. But most of like
I'd be
my-
wearing like 3 triple chamois.
It's a lot of slipping around, man.
I mean, even after one just regular, well, like a big day of riding, you get sore. Maybe I gotta adjust my seat or something.
Yeah, that could be it. If you're getting sore, saddle thing is like huge. If you get a proper like saddle, world of difference.
What kind of saddle are you running?
I run an ISM, so it's got like the slit like all the way down the middle. My buddy calls them angel fingers because it's like two little fingers on the outside kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I will never forget that.
Yeah.
We just got these new seats with adjustments in it. Like, yeah, there's like these rubber things. I don't know what the brand name is called, Jason.
Sorry, yeah.
There's one that's
SQ Lab.
Oh,
And they have like different elastomers that you can put in the base of the seat to adjust.
maybe a white, a gray, and a black one.
I
And I
don't know
put in
what
the-
elastomer is, but I'm into it.
Rubber.
Cool.
I put this I put the softest one in there, and it kind of wondered if it was a gimmick or it was really gonna change anything. But we posted it on our Instagram, and someone said that's my favorite seat. They're so good. So
Yeah. Doctors, they designed them.
Yeah, I mean, the saddle choice is very personal. Everyone's got a different ass and a different butt sort of thing, and the way your junk sits on it and fits with your legs. And
One of my favorite things, I used to work at a bike shop, and one of my favorite things, we had a saddle thing, like a tool that you would sit on, and it was like gel. So
leave an
people would
imprint.
sit on it, and you'd had to measure people's ass bones. For sometimes you get like a dick and balls in there too. It's just like
You
they
know-
sit, and then it'll show you like it's like a gel that goes clear as soon as you compress it, so you can see like what size they are and how
Yeah.
long of a saddle to get.
You know how you do that without going to a bike shop that has a fancy saddle thing?
No.
sit on a cake.
You go to a mattress place and sit on a memory foam thing for a little while, and then when you get up, you measure the distance between your seat bones on there.
How many sleep countries have you been banned from?
Just one. You only have to do it once.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm just measuring for my angel fingers.
Pizza's getting cold outside.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Well, that was great to have you, man.
Thank you.
And thank you for this invitation to the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to consider this to see if we're in town. When was it again?
The first one is April 27th, Indiana Bones and the Temple of Zoom. The next
it.
one is Game of Bones on July 20th. And the third one is, there it is, the Grand Fun
Oh,
Dog,
Sick.
Jurassic Park on September 7th.
Well, we're not there on April 27th, I think. I don't want to spoil that, but I think we're going away. And then July, is that Crankworks?
Yeah, it might be.
Might be.
That might be
Might be.
Crankworks. It's September 7th. I'm getting a haircut. Sorry,
September.
I gotta
That's
walk
okay.
the
It's your pre 9/11
Car.
party.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So I guess if you're out there in Vancouver and you want to go on a fun scavenger hunt and meet the Triple Everest man himself,
If
get out there.
When is this going to come out? Sorry?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So that's going to be the weekend of it. Ooh,
Yeah.
You can show up. Registration's going to be closed. You can show up on the day of. For the chuthers out there listening, it'll be at Heather Park. It'll be $15 cash.
And use code Mahalo for 100% off. That's right. Right. You said that before.
Yeah, totally. A 0% discount on all you Mahalo dudes.
Okay.
That went great.
Well, anything else to say to the people out there, the chuthers out there in Chutherland?
Thank you. This is totally fangirling here. This is like rad to meet you guys.
That's great to
Super,
meet you
super
too.
Rad.
Mhm.
The man.
Would
with
love
the
to ride
news.
bikes sometime.
We should do a mountain
Uh-oh.
bike triple crown.
I'd totally
Uh-oh.
be into that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't mountain bike so well, but I have a salsa that I have like set up gravel. Would be totally into that.
Oh,
I've
We could figure something out.
also really wanted to do bobsled on my fixed gear.
Oh yeah.
I think it's doable.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Totally doable.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could Everest that. How many laps of bobsled is an Everest?
That'd be sick.
That's probably 1,000.
I had a buddy Everest from he did Espresso.
Yeah.
That trail he did it 26 or 27 times.
That'd be rad.
Looked hard.
It'd be hard.
It
Yeah,
looked really
it'd be
hard. Anyway,
Huh.
it's- yeah, that's an episode.
We
Matt,
did
take
it.
it away.
We did it. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Please remember to subscribe, leave us a review on Apple. Where else
Yeah.
can you find?
Spotify.
Wherever you find your
Spotify.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Drop a comment on YouTube and ask us for some advice or call in. Speakpipe.com/feeding off each other. Maybe you can let us know how the scavenger hunt went after the fact.
Most staff.
Or
Call
leave
in.
a pipe mid hunt.
Do it.
Mhm.
Tag them.
And that's all. And as always,
Thank you for listening to Feeding Off Each Other. Please subscribe for more great podcasts.